Something unusual has been circulating through royal commentary circles and Hollywood gossip networks over the past few weeks. According to several viral reports, Prince Harry may have received a phone call that completely changed the atmosphere behind the gates of his Montecito mansion. Not from a royal family member, not from a palace advisor, but from a man who once helped rescue Harry and Meghan during one of the most chaotic moments of their lives. Tyler Perry, the billionaire filmmaker and media mogul, has long been seen as one of the Sussex couple's strongest allies in America, but recent speculation suggests that the relationship between them may not be as simple as friendship anymore. Some reports claim a serious financial dispute could be quietly brewing behind the scenes, tied directly to the mansion Harry and Meghan purchased shortly after leaving royal life. Even more intriguing is the claim that if this situation ever turned into a legal battle, it could expose financial details the couple has carefully kept out of the public eye. Now, to be clear, many of these claims remain rumors circulating through royal commentary channels and online discussions. But the reason the story has exploded online is because it touches on a much bigger question people have been asking for years. How exactly did Harry and Meghan fund their new life after walking away from the monarchy? And to understand why this mystery keeps resurfacing, we have to go back to one of the most dramatic royal moments in modern history. Early 2020 was a moment that completely reshaped the modern royal family. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle announced they were stepping down as senior working royals and planned to build a new independent life outside the United Kingdom. The decision shocked the world and triggered what many called a royal crisis. Within months, the couple relocated to North America, first staying briefly in Canada before eventually settling in California. But behind the scenes, the transition was far more complicated than the public initially realized. When Harry stepped away from official royal duties, he also lost access to the financial support structure that had always surrounded him. Reports at the time indicated that King Charles had reduced the financial assistance that once helped cover Harry's expenses as a working royal. Suddenly, for the first time in his life, Harry had to navigate the reality of funding his own security, staff, housing, and daily lifestyle in one of the most expensive regions in the United States. And this is where Tyler Perry entered the story in a major way. When the couple arrived in Los Angeles during the early stages of the pandemic, Perry offered them a private sanctuary, his own massive Beverly Hills estate. For months, Harry and Meghan reportedly lived there with their young son, protected from media attention and surrounded by security. At the time, many observers saw Perry simply as a generous friend, stepping in during a difficult transition. But years later, some commentators began asking whether his involvement may have gone deeper than anyone realized. Not long after leaving Perry's property, Harry and Meghan announced they had purchased a sprawling estate in Montecito, California, one of the most exclusive neighborhoods in America. The property reportedly cost around $14.6 million and featured everything from extensive gardens to guest houses and sweeping ocean views. On the surface, the purchase seemed like a declaration of their new life: independent, wealthy, and free from royal constraints. But almost immediately, questions began circulating about how the couple managed to secure such an expensive property so quickly after leaving the royal system. Harry did have some personal wealth, including an inheritance from his mother, Princess Diana. The couple had also begun signing major media deals, including agreements with Netflix and Spotify. However, critics pointed out that those deals often take time to generate actual cash flow. Real estate experts also noted that high-end California homes typically require enormous upfront payments when closing a deal. This is where speculation began spreading online. Some royal commentators claimed that Tyler Perry may have helped financially during the early stages of the home purchase. According to these theories, Perry might have provided temporary assistance to help close the deal quickly. Importantly, none of these claims have been officially confirmed, and there has never been public documentation showing such an arrangement. Still, the rumor persisted across social media and royal discussion forums, largely because Perry had already played such a critical role in helping the couple settle in America. But if any kind of private financial arrangement did exist, critics argue that it could eventually become a source of tension. Over the past few years, Harry and Meghan have worked to build a new brand centered around media production, philanthropy, and public speaking. Their deals with major streaming platforms were initially seen as proof that the couple could successfully transition from royalty into global entertainment figures. Yet, some projects reportedly struggled to gain long-term momentum. Their Spotify partnership ended after only a limited number of releases, and several planned media projects were quietly shelved or delayed. While the couple still maintains significant wealth, observers began questioning whether their expenses might be far larger than the public realized. Maintaining a massive estate in Montecito is not simply a one-time purchase. It comes with ongoing costs that can reach millions of dollars per year. Property taxes, staff salaries, landscaping, security, insurance, and general maintenance quickly add up, especially in a luxury neighborhood. As these financial realities became clearer, online speculation about the couple's financial structure intensified. Some commentators began suggesting that if outside financial help had ever been involved in the home purchase, repayment expectations might eventually become an issue. Again, these claims remain unverified and largely fueled by speculation, but they help spark a broader narrative circulating through royal commentary channels that behind the carefully crafted image of independence, the Sussex financial story might be far more complicated than it appears. The most dramatic version of this theory claims that tensions may have eventually reached a breaking point. According to viral reports spreading online, Tyler Perry allegedly contacted Prince Harry directly regarding financial obligations tied to the Montecito property. Some versions of the story even claim a strict repayment deadline may have been discussed. Now, it's important to emphasize that these reports remain unconfirmed and largely originate from commentary channels rather than verified financial records. However, the reason the rumor has gained so much traction is because of what it implies. If a financial dispute ever did emerge between the Sussexes and a powerful figure like Tyler Perry, it could quickly escalate into something far more serious than a private disagreement. In the American legal system, financial disputes between wealthy individuals sometimes end up in civil court. And when that happens, the legal process can reveal far more than either side initially expected. Even the possibility of such a scenario has captured the attention of royal watchers and media analysts alike. Because if a legal dispute ever reached that stage, it wouldn't just be about money. It would be about something far more dangerous for public figures: transparency. And that leads directly to the legal concept that many commentators believe would cause the most concern for any celebrity involved in a dispute like this. The real reason stories like this generate so much attention online has less to do with the money itself and more to do with what could happen if a dispute ever reached a courtroom. In American civil law, lawsuits don't just focus on the final disagreement between two parties. They trigger a powerful legal process known as discovery. This stage allows lawyers to request documents, communications, and financial records related to the case. For ordinary business disputes, discovery is simply part of the legal routine. But for global public figures who carefully control their public image, the idea of discovery can be deeply uncomfortable. Imagine what it could potentially reveal if lawyers began requesting financial statements, loan discussions, email chains, or private text messages connected to the purchase of a multi-million-dollar property. Suddenly, the story would no longer be controlled through interviews, documentaries, or carefully managed public statements. Instead, documents would speak for themselves. Judges do not care about brand strategy or public relations. They care about verifiable facts. That is why many analysts say that even the possibility of discovery is often enough to push wealthy individuals to settle disputes quietly rather than fight them in court. And for Harry and Meghan, who have spent years building a carefully managed narrative around independence and self-made success, the idea of financial records becoming public could trigger a massive wave of media scrutiny. Whether the rumors are exaggerated or not, this legal reality is one of the main reasons the story has captured so much attention online. But even if no legal dispute ever occurs, there is another part of the story that financial analysts often focus on: the cost of maintaining the Montecito estate itself. Luxury homes at that level are not simply places to live. They function almost like private businesses that require constant spending just to keep operating. Property taxes in California alone can reach 6 figures every single year, homes valued above $10 million. Then there's the cost of staff, maintenance crews, landscaping teams, and property management. Large estates require full-time attention to maintain gardens, repair structures, and manage security systems. And security itself is one of the biggest expenses for high-profile public figures like Harry and Meghan. As former members of the royal family, they are considered high-risk targets, which means professional security teams must be on duty around the clock. Experts estimate that private security for globally recognized figures can easily cost several $1 million per year, depending on staffing levels and travel requirements. On top of that, Montecito sits in a region known for environmental risks, including mudslides and heavy seasonal storms. Insurance premiums in areas like this have reportedly increased dramatically over the past few years. When all of these factors are combined, taxes, security, maintenance, insurance, the yearly cost of maintaining the estate can become enormous. And this financial pressure is one reason some real estate observers believe the property itself may have become a difficult long-term commitment. Over the past year, occasional rumors have surfaced suggesting that Harry and Meghan may have explored options for selling their Montecito property privately. These claims usually reference something known in real estate as a pocket listing. A pocket listing is when a home is marketed quietly through private networks, rather than publicly advertised on major property platforms. High-profile individuals sometimes use this strategy to avoid media attention or public speculation while testing the market. In wealthy communities like Montecito, many luxury homes change hands through these discreet channels without ever appearing in traditional listings. Some royal commentators believe this approach could make sense for the Sussexes if they ever decided to move on from the property. A public listing would immediately trigger headlines suggesting financial trouble or a major lifestyle shift, but a private sale would allow them to quietly explore offers while maintaining control of the narrative. Again, there has been no official confirmation that the couple is actively selling the home. However, the rumors continue to circulate, largely because the property has always played such a symbolic role in their story. When Harry and Meghan purchased the estate, it represented their new beginning, a life outside royal control, and a fresh start in California. If they ever chose to leave it behind, many observers believe it would signal a major turning point in the next chapter of their journey. Another reason this entire story keeps resurfacing is the ongoing tension between Harry and the rest of the royal family. Since stepping back from royal duties, Harry has openly criticized aspects of royal life in interviews, documentaries, and his memoir. These revelations created one of the deepest rifts the modern monarchy has experienced in decades. Within royal circles, some commentators believe senior members of the family always worried about how Harry and Meghan would manage life outside the royal system. The monarchy operates under a completely different financial structure compared to the celebrity world. Working royals receive support through estates, public funding, and institutional resources that cover everything from housing to security. Once someone leaves that system, those protections largely disappear. That means former royals must operate in the same competitive environment as celebrities, entrepreneurs, and media personalities, where income depends on deals, partnerships, and public interest. Some royal watchers believe figures like Princess Anne have always taken a more pragmatic view of these realities. Anne is widely known for her disciplined approach to royal duties and financial management. While there is no confirmed evidence that she has commented directly on these rumors, commentators often speculate how senior royals might privately interpret the situation. From their perspective, leaving the monarchy meant trading institutional stability for the unpredictable world of celebrity business ventures. And that shift inevitably comes with risk. Whether the rumors surrounding Tyler Perry, the Montecito mansion, and the Sussex finances are accurate or simply exaggerated internet speculation, the story highlights a much larger question about life after royalty. Harry and Meghan set out to prove they could build an independent future outside the royal system, relying on their own brand, media deals, and global influence. In many ways, they have succeeded, securing major partnerships, producing documentaries, and maintaining worldwide attention. But independence also comes with enormous financial responsibility, especially when operating at the level of global celebrities. Multi-million-dollar homes, large security teams, international travel, and media projects all require constant funding. And unlike royal life, there is no institutional safety net to absorb those costs. That is why stories about the Montecito mansion continue to spark debate among royal watchers and media analysts alike. For some, the house represents freedom, proof that Harry and Meghan truly carved out their own path. For others, it symbolizes the enormous financial gamble involved in leaving royal life behind. So now the question turns to you. If you were advising Prince Harry today, what would you recommend? Should he keep fighting to maintain the California lifestyle he built after leaving the monarchy? Or would it be smarter to simplify, sell the mansion, and move toward a more sustainable future? Let me know what you think, because this story and the questions surrounding it are far from over.